Hello everyone, Mixfant Gaming here. Welcome to my channel. Today take a look at some more Mech Arena action. And today we got some news that is probably quite controversial for several people. I'd actually planned to put up a video already today. It was actually already on YouTube. It was just finishing the processing. When we got a heads up as part of the partner program of what was coming into the game. And they've since then added it into the news section. So let's just go in here. Let's look at what they're talking about here. So, greeting pilots, we're happy to announce that the Mech Arena is due to launch globally very soon. Awesome news. And the dev team is working very hard to streamline the gameplay and work out some of the final balance quirks. After reviewing player feedback, in-game metrics, and conducting extensive in-game testing, we have decided to change the rank 6 mech bonus to bring variety into the end game and make sure all mechs have a chance to shine. Once update 1.24 goes live, you will no longer receive a second copy of the same mech upon reaching that rank. And this is where the controversy begins. There are a lot of people out there who currently have second copies. There's those like me, for instance, who I've been working towards getting my very first second copy. And now the game will not let you have multiple mechs of the same type in your hangar. So instead of the mech's energy capacity will get a significant bonus. Light mechs will cap out at 16 energy capacity. So imagine a Lancer now running around being able to run missile rack 8s. That seems to be a little bit too strong. Light mechs should be light. Missile rack 8s to me is more of a heavy weapon type. Medium mechs will cap out at 24. So now imagine a Juggernaut being able to run the Thanos build, which is a railgun plus a long arm 8. That, in combination with the Juggernaut shield, will be pretty deadly. Again, I've been hearing people saying things like a Juggernaut with the Thanos build is going to be OP now. And it very well could be. Oh, no, we're going to have to wait and see. But the biggie here, the heavy mechs will cap out at a staggering 32 energy capacity, which would be enough to run 2 railguns or 2 stasis beam 16s. Now, Panthers, Guardians, and other heavy hitters will be able to deliver punishment like never before. And even Slinky Shadows will pack quite a punch. This change will apply to every mech in the game, opening up a lot more creativity, flexible, powerful builds. That said, it does mean giving up on bringing 2 copies of the same mech into your squad. Only having one of every mech will mean more variety and tactical flexibility in Mech Arena. And I can understand where they're coming from about this, is they're trying to ensure that, hangars as they get into the upper tiers are not basically stagnant, so that everybody is not running the same thing. In Division 1, getting up there, I'm seeing people usually running 2 Panthers. A lot of times the Thanos build. Other times, usually the staple is a person is running 2 Panthers, and then in combination of that, they could maybe run 2 Zephyrs or 2 kill shots, and usually the third mech is something like either a brick house or maybe it's a Guardian. Or occasionally you'll see maybe a Surge or something, but the staples seem to be first and foremost always having 2 Panthers, and then usually another mech is picked out there. Usually it's your favorite mech or something that kind of works well for you to be your second kind of a dual copy, and then you just fill in the last slot with another mech that you have. So I understand that they're trying to go for variety, but there is the other way people have actually been upgrading is because of the lack of resources a lot of people have, especially acorns. Very often it's actually more economical to, from the beginning, choose what your main hangar is going to be and concentrate on duplicating that mech. Therefore, you're not dumping in a lot of resources to upgrade just 5 separate mechs. So you're actually upgrading only 3 mechs, 2 of them of which are going to dual copy. So there is a lot of controversy right now. I've seen it in the Discord. I've seen it on Facebook. There's a lot of people who are quite upset about this right now. So let's just keep going on here. However, removing the existing second copies from players who already have them cannot happen immediately, which means those players will keep the extra mechs for a short time. It is a matter that they will soon resolve, but fairness is also one of their main objectives, so we'll be sending compensation to those who lost their mechs due to the rebalance, and they can expect to hear more shortly. So as part of the partner program, I don't have any information yet as to what they mean by compensation. Hopefully, it is going to be a significant compensation for those individuals. Please share your comments on our forum. Keep an eye on for more news, as we've also got some awesome and highly rewarding events prepared to celebrate the upcoming global launch. And one of the events that's going to be happening, they have mentioned it already previously, is that the new mech, the Arachnos, will be part of that's going to be how you obtain the new mech. You're not going to have to go in and buy it right away. You're going to have to do some event challenges, some event tasks, and once you finish the event, you'll be able to get yourself the Arachnos, which, given what they've said here about the high capacity, it looks like the Arachnos will have a 32 power limit. So I'm curious as to what everybody else is thinking. I know right now there is a lot of dissatisfaction, I should say. I'm trying to keep an open mind. I'm a little bit biased because I don't have a second copy, so it doesn't really affect me too much. I'm already upgrading 5 mechs. I actually like the idea of running variety. I'm not the type of person where I wanted, the same mech in my hangar. Even war robots, I don't have one single robot that's duplicated. I run a variety of robots over there, although I don't play the game very much anymore these days. But this is one thing that they can learn from War Robots, is there are hangars out there in that game where they will run 5 robots of the exact same style. And that's been causing a huge problem over there. So for those of you who maybe are not liking this news about removing the duplicate copies, keep in mind that, and I'm not trying to defend Plarium here, I'm just trying to be completely honest and open. War Robots had a huge problem, and still has a huge problem, of people getting the most OP robot over there and setup and completely dominating because they spend money and they get 5 of them and they max it all out, and they've just basically overrun everybody else. At least in this game, they seem to be actively taking the approach to balance things out and not allow players to have a hangar full of the same mech. Now, you never could have that here in this game. You could only have dual copies, but it's really boring over War Robots to constantly, all the time, going against the top 1, 2, or 3 robots, and people having 3, 4, or 5 of them in each of their hangars. Going over there, like for instance when the shells were released over there, you would kill one and another 2 shells would pop in a match. It was absolutely endless. So from that experience in War Robots over to here in the Mech Arena, I like the idea that they're restricting the mechs, that you can't have multiple mechs in your hangar, and therefore you can have a diversity. That being said, though, given I think there's going to be 5 mechs now that have the 32 energy capacity. Well, what weapons are going to be using if you wanted to, for instance, have all 5 in your hangar? You can't maximize that out. You have the stasis beam 16s. That could get you to 32 power. So you get the one and then you duplicate it. So now you have your 2 weapons, so you can equip 1 mech. Then you have your railguns. So you get your railgun 16, you duplicate it, so then you can put it on another mech. So now you have 2 mechs that's fully maxed out with 32 power, but you have no other weapons left to be able to put on the remaining 3 mechs. So even though they have a 32 power limit, you can't make use of it. Now I imagine Plarium will be putting out more 16 power weapons in the future. I can't see them not doing it. If they're increasing the power limit of these mechs, then they're going to probably either have to take older weapons and increase their power, or introduce new weapons into the game. But this is where it starts getting a little bit dangerous when it comes to the balancing, and I'm not sure how this is going to work out. So, being able to have, like I said, the Lancer, the MD, the Shadow, being able to run around with Missile Rack 8s. Imagine the Shadow with Missile Rack 8s. That's going to be a freaking beast to deal with. And then, like I said, you have the Juggernaut. That's going to be able to run the Thanos build now. And then, like the Panther, being able to run the 32 power limits, while you don't really have, like I said, the weapons to fully equip an entire hangar. That still is an awful lot of firepower. I don't know. I personally think they've gone a little bit overboard in making things too powerful now. I understand wanting to entice people to upgrade and to work into their mechs, and even though I hate war robots, one of the things they've done over there to encourage people to spend money is to sell power. And I kind of see this game starting to get to that point. I do think, though, the devs are still focused on having a balanced game. But maybe that's why they've actually made this change, is because they're increasing the power levels of the mechs. They don't want players to get the most powerful mech and duplicate it and being able to basically run havoc on the field. I don't know. Only time will tell. It would be nice if Plarium would somehow put out a test server that we can, at least the YouTubers in the partner program, but maybe others, if we could somehow get in and test this stuff just to see how it really affects this game. I know they do extensive testing over at Plarium, the devs, etc. But I don't know about this. I'm going to try and keep an open mind and see how it goes. I'm really looking forward to the global launch. But this is a huge change. This really does shift the entire balance of the game completely. And I actually thought it was relatively balanced as it was. I don't really see the need for this. I don't see the need for removing the second copies. They didn't mention anything about second copies of weapons. So, and to be honest, I don't know if you can get second copies. I think you can get second copies of things like the missile racks and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen people running around with dual kill shots with Missile Rack 8s, but yeah, it's a little concerning. Let's just put it that way. I'm not sold on the idea. I understand where they're coming from, but it's a significant change, and it just seeing the negative feedback out there already for this of just being announced on the Facebook really has me a little bit on edge, if I'm being perfectly honest. We can't be going, we're not even global yet, and you can't be upsetting your player base the way they seem to be right now. I just hope a lot of players out there just take a step back and consider why Plarium is doing this. I know it's very, very hard to do. You've worked extremely hard on your second copies, and now you're going to lose something, and that's never a good sign at all. A lot of players feel kind of misled when it came to this change. It's not live yet, but it sounds like it's going to be. I do wish maybe Plarium had put out some surveys and stuff to really gauge the feedback and the appetite for something like this. This is one of the things that really irks me when it comes to like war robots, is the sweeping changes they make without any feedback, or at least when we do give feedback, it's not listened to. Plarium, you could take a step back and learn from war robots' mistakes and engage your community a lot more and listen. I know you've mentioned in here that you've taken feedback, and this is part of your reasoning for doing so, but I've never seen any survey about increasing power limits to 32 or removing the duplication feature of mechs once you get it to rank 6. Anyways, I was going to hop into a game, but it's now going a lot longer than I wanted to. So anyways, let me know your comments below. If there's anything maybe you want me to try to to send over to Plarium directly, let me know. I'm sure a lot of things that you say here will probably have already reached their ears, but I'm curious as to what you think. Just try to keep an open mind, see, just to try to see it from everybody's perspective. I'm like I told you, I'm not sold on it, but I'm not giving a thumbs down. I'm not giving a thumbs up. I kind of want to see how they're going to balance it, because right now, I think increasing the power level of the light and the medium mechs and is going to be a little overpowered. And I don't know what it's going to be like yet for the heavier mechs. We really don't have like I said, the weapons to be able to equip a whole bunch of them. So you're still probably only going to be able to have 2 mechs that are going to be fully maxed out with max power after this change. So on the surface, that might not be too horrible, but once you get to have more weapons in the game that have a 16 capacity, or heck, they might even start throwing out like a 20 power weapon, and then you combine it with like a 12 or a 10 or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, let me know your comments below. I know this is kind of a little convoluted. I didn't plan this out. I got this news. I'm at work. I took like 20 minutes a break here just to try to make a quick recording and just to throw it out there. So yeah, let me know what you think, good or bad. If you want me to relay anything towards Plarium, please let me know. And yeah, we'll just leave it there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Don't give me a thumbs down because you don't like the news from Plarium. I have no control over the news. I'm just relaying the information. So yeah, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.